Hello students, welcome to this video tutorial on how to draw a mini car part 1. So let's start with clicking on the rectangle tool. So let's click on the rectangle tool, and I want to start a little bit away from the girl. I don't want to draw the car right next to the girl's feet, so I'm going to move it over here, and I don't want to draw it right on the red line. I want to draw it a little bit above the red line. So I want you to click once to start the rectangle, and then you can stretch out that rectangle. Now don't click again. Don't hold your mouse. We only clicked once and we started dragging the rectangle out. Using your keyboard, I want you to type in 2m, comma, 1.2m. Now, if you didn't know what I was saying, then all you need to do is look in this bottom right-hand corner here. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to type in 2m, comma, 1.2m, and then I'm going to hit enter. So I've created a rectangle on the ground that is 2 meters long and 1.2 meters wide. That's going to be the base of our car. So let's immediately save this file. So let's go to File, Save As. In the Save In window here, you need to click the down arrow and look for your student number. Now I'm recording this video at home, so it's not really going to show any numbers, so I need you to click on your student number, and then under File Name, I want you to erase this and type in mini car, mini car. Then hit Save. So if you've done it correctly, you should see the file name either on the top blue bar in the center or most likely on the top blue bar in the top left-hand corner. Okay, so let's make this rectangle on the ground 3D. So let's click on the Push-Pull tool. Click on the Push-Pull tool. So what I want to do is I want to click once on the rectangle. Don't hold your mouse and start pulling up. Do not click your mouse a second time. I want you to type in 50 cm, 50 centimeters, 50 cm, and then hit the Enter key on your keyboard. So that should pull our rectangle up 50 centimeters high. Okay? Now remember, at any time if you make a mistake, you can just go up to the Edit menu and choose Undo. Undo will always be the first choice. So I'm going to undo. That way I can do it again. I'm going to click once on the rectangle and start pulling up. I'm not holding the mouse button, and I'm going to type in 50 cm, hit enter. There we go. Our car is raised 50 centimeters into the air. All right, let's use the Orbit tool now. The Orbit tool. Let's click on the Orbit tool, and what I want to do is I want to position my camera so I'm looking down at the top of the car. Okay? All right, next I'm going to click on the Rectangle tool again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start along the side of the car near the back edge of the car, but not right at the back edge, very close to it though. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to pull out my rectangle to the other side where it says on edge, and then I'm going to pull towards the front of the car, and then I'm going to click a second time about here. So what I want is I want this area, the front of the car or the front hood, to be much longer than the back of the car here or the trunk. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to edit, undo. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. I'm going to start on the right edge of the car, near the back of the car where it says on edge. I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to stretch out to the opposite side where it says on edge, and then I'm going to pull my mouse towards the front of the car, and I'm going to leave a nice area for the hood, and I'm going to click again. Okay? All right, next, let's click the Push-Pull tool. I'm going to click once on the new rectangle that you created, and I'm going to pull up, I'm going to lift up. Don't hold the mouse, don't click a second time. I want you to type in 45 cm, 45 cm, or 45 centimeters. If you don't know what I'm saying, look in the bottom right hand corner. You'll see the numbers there. and then hit enter. Okay, so let's orbit around and have a look, a side view of this car. Very nice. Okay, now you might be thinking you're a little bit far away, so I'm going to click on the magnifying glass, the zoom tool, the magnifying glass, the zoom tool, and then I'm just going to scroll in so that I'm much closer to the car. All right, so I'm going to use the orbit tool again, and I want to look at the car from the side. Okay, so I don't want to see any of the top of the car, any of the back, any of the front, or any of the bottom. I want to see it directly from the side. Okay, let's use the pencil tool. So let's create the angle of the front windshield. So I want you to start in this corner where it says endpoint and click once. And then I want you to have a pretty nice angle angling back for your windshield until it says on edge and click a second time. Now for the back windows angle, I want it to be much steeper. So I'm going to start in this corner here where it says endpoint. I'm going to click once and then I'm going to go up to the roof. But instead of bringing it towards the middle, I only want to cut off a little bit here. And I'm going to click a second time. Do you see how this distance here is much shorter than this distance over here? Okay, so if you can imagine that those triangles are cut away, I'm going to have a nice windshield line for the front of my car. Okay, let's orbit around towards the top. So what I want to do is I want to click back on the pencil tool. I want to click on this corner here where I just drew the line where it says endpoint, and I want to draw a line across the top of the roof. I want you to make sure that it's a green line and go until it says on edge and click a second time. And let's do the same for this point here where the back window meets the roof. I want to start where it says endpoint. I want to click once. I want to draw across the roof, make sure it's a green line. Go to the other edge where it says on edge and click a second time. All right, let's look at the left side of the car. So I'm going to orbit around so I can see the roof and the left side of the car. So now I'm going to go back to the pencil tool and I'm going to continue this line. I'm going to start from this point. I'm going to continue this line I drew across the roof where it says endpoint. I want to click once and then I want to draw down to this corner here where it says endpoint and click a second time. Then I want to do the same for the back window where we drew a line across the roof. I want you to click where it says endpoint and then draw down to this corner where it says endpoint and click a second time. Okay, so let's save. Let's always be saving our work so that we're protecting our work. So let's go to File, Save. Now we don't have to do Save As because we've already saved it. We already called it Mini Car. So let's just go to Save. Okay, so now, exciting part. Let's click on the Eraser tool. The Eraser tool. Let's click on the Eraser tool. And the first line I want to get rid of is this line here. Don't click on the roof. Click on this corner, this line here. So I'm going to click on it, and there we go. Now, I want to get rid of this line that's sticking out. So I'm going to click on that. I want to get rid of this line that's sticking straight up. Get rid of that. I want to get rid of this line sticking across. And I want to get rid of this line. So now you can see I've created a nice angle for the windshield. So let's do the same for the back window. Let's orbit around. I use the orbit tool and I'm orbiting around so I can see the back edge here. I'm going to click on the Eraser tool and I'm going to click on this corner, this line. Don't click on the roof. Don't click on the back window. Click on this line here. Click on it. Then I want to get rid of this line. I want to get rid of this line. I want to get rid of this line. And I want to get rid of this line. There we go. Now, Let's orbit around so that we have a look at the car from the side. So this concludes the first video tutorial on Mini Car. Thanks for watching. Bye.